Hey guys, Steve here with what might be the first in a series of Q&A videos, depending on how much you guys shown it. I got this idea a few days ago because I have a new iPhone and it has a really good camera quality, and since I figured we haven't really been up to date on our mailbags, I figured I'd give this kind of a thing of my own. And if you're wondering why I keep looking away, it's because I'm looking at the questions right now. Anyway, these aren't going to be edited. These are just going to be quick things. I'm going to try and get in it like around 10 questions per mailbag, or Q&A as I call it now. And this time I have like about 9, I think. But a lot of them are like two-part questions, so let's see how this goes. Without further ado, the first question from Stephen Walton. Is Skyward Sword a 10 out of 10 for you, and is it the best Zelda ever? It's definitely a 10 out of 10 for me, I can tell you that right now. I haven't finished it, and for me to say that a game is 10 out of 10 before even finishing it, that's really something. The only other game that's happened that has ever done that for me before is Ocarina of Time, and speaking of which, best Zelda ever? It's kind of a toss-up right now between 3 games, actually. Skyward Sword, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time for me. All 3 of them have kind of been battling it out. But I think by the time I finish Skyward Sword, I'll probably have an answer for that. So I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so question 2 from Josie Taylor McDermott. My top 5 favorite Zeldas and why. I'll just start with that. So for right now, I think I'll put Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and Skyward Sword on my number 1 spot. Number 2, I'd put Twilight Princess. Number 3, A Link to the Past. 4, Minish Cap. And 5, Zelda 2. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I love Zelda 2. I love the whole RPG elements behind it, and quite frankly, I'm surprised Nintendo never even brought them back until just now with Skyward Sword. It's weird. My favorite Zelda song. Probably the Song of Time. I'd definitely say so. Like that always seems to stand out in my mind, and there's so many different versions of it. So many of it are amazing. If not, then it would probably be Midna's Desperate Hour from Twilight Princess or Outset Island from Wind Waker. All 3 of those I really like, but there's just way too many to choose from. And which Zelda game has the best soundtrack? A Link to the Past. I'd say so. I love the 16-bit sound, and there isn't one theme in that game that I think kind of lacks at all. And once again, I'd actually say it's a toss-up between that and Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time had a really good soundtrack, too. Alright. From Blake Gibson. Did I ever have a crush on Zelda or the fairies? The fairies. I'm assuming you mean the Great Fairies? If no. Those scare me. And Zelda or the fairies? No. And I know you're gonna hate me, fangirls, for saying this, but I think it's weird that people will have crushes on like video game characters. I mean, I can understand like little kids thinking that, but just like grown like near adults like myself, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, so that's, and while on the same sort of topic, the people that argue whether Zelda or Sheik, if Sheik is a male or female, I don't understand that either. Like, the true answer behind that is neither. It's a cartoon. Same answer I give for, do you have a crush on them? I can't really say so because they're cartoons. Alright, next question from Matthew. I'm not even going to attempt this last name. Reiziger. I don't know how to say it. Actually, I'll combine it with the next question, too. Both of them ask, what is the first Zelda I played? And Matthew also asked, what is the first Zelda I played? What is the first impression of it? I think the first I played was Ocarina of Time, although it may have been Link's Awakening. I don't know, one of the two. And first impression, Ocarina of Time, I loved the fishing. I thought I was really good at it, and I absolutely loved riding around in Epona. And I don't really remember that much of Link's Awakening from playing it when I was little. All I remember was I couldn't beat it no matter what I did, and getting shot with lightning. Anyway, next question from Zach Cunard. I think that's how it's said. Have you beaten Majora's Mask, and if so, how many days did it take you? Yes, I've beaten it many times. And how many days did it take me? I don't know if that's supposed to be referring to how many like real life days or how many days in the game it took me. I've been attempting the 3 day run. Maybe the closest I've gotten is maybe like 4 or 5 days I've beaten it in, like in game time. In real life time, I've beaten it in probably 2. Maybe I've beaten it one time. I don't know. Next question, Zach Ferguson. Favorite non-Zelda related game? I'd probably have to say Mario Galaxy 2. It's an amazing game. If not, then any one of the games from the Halo series, Banjo-Kazooie, or one of the original Pokemons, like the Game Boy Color ones. I kind of tuned out after those. Alright, next question from Blake Rourke. Is there any Zelda that you weren't too satisfied with? I realize I'm kind of thinking a lot on the spot here, but that's kind of like how I like doing it. Alright, yeah, there is one, but I'm going to have to kind of explain it a bit. The DS games, those are really, those are made by Nintendo to be targeted more for younger audiences. I'm not saying entirely younger audiences, like Zelda fans still liked them. But mostly they were for younger kids, but obviously since it's Zelda, I couldn't deny getting Phantom Hourglass, and it didn't quite reach my standards of like some of the other games, but you know, it was good for what it was. So I wouldn't exactly call it disappointing, because it wasn't really like I didn't really have that much expectations going into it. It just wasn't my cup of tea, basically. That's the best I could say it, but I can understand where other people like it. All right. Last question from Andrew Anderson. Should Nintendo's next Zelda be 3D or top-down? Well, I hate to tell you this, but no Zelda game is probably ever going to be top-down again, unless Nintendo does sort of a retro thing, because there hasn't been a top-down one since the Minish Cap. Unless, actually, the DS ones, I'm not sure if people count those as 3D or 2D. I mean, they are top-down, but they're kind of 3D-ish at the same time. It's weird. But I would like to see another 2D game, but I would also like to see more 3D games. I'd be fine with either one. So, yeah. That ends these questions. I hope this really kind of interests you, and I'm looking forward to answering more questions, because I kind of like doing this kind of thing. But in the meantime, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to do a special thing and show you guys my Zelda collection. All right.